Epstein. So, I guess the best way to describe this is when we began our representation of the president, we certainly were confronted with a very anomalous set of results. The president way ahead on election night, 700,000 or 800,000 in Pennsylvania. Somehow he lost Pennsylvania. We have statisticians willing to testify that that's almost statistically impossible to have happened in the period of time that it happened. But of course, that's just speculation. As we started investigating, both our investigations and the very patriotic and brave American citizens that have come forward are extraordinary number of people, extraordinary number of witnesses. And what emerged very quickly is it's not a singular voter fraud in one state. This pattern repeats itself in a number of states, almost exactly the same pattern, which to any experienced investigator, prosecutor, would suggest that there was a plan from a centralized place to execute these various acts of voter fraud, specifically focused on big cities, and specifically focused on, as you would imagine, big cities controlled by Democrats, and particularly focused on big cities that have a long history of corruption. The number of voter fraud cases in Philadelphia could fill a library. Just a few weeks ago, there was a conviction for voter fraud, and 1-2 weeks before that. And I've often said, I guess sarcastically, but it's true, the only surprise I would have found in this is if Philadelphia hadn't cheated in this election.
The poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by 30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book, why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom of this here.
Zero. There's zero.
So, my question then is, if the...
Guess how many, wait, what about the turnout rate? 120%?
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question.
So the poll book number, there's two things that could happen here. Either the poll book number, if ballots were counted multiple times, there's two options. Option number one is that the poll book numbers are not going to match.
They don't.
The actual. Not by thousands and thousands of votes. That's not what we see right now.
Take a look again. Take a look again.
Option number two is that they essentially were filling in names of people who didn't vote.
Dead people too?
So is that?
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then when he's done.
Was his answer. Okay.
Well, I guess that's my question here is why we're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
I'm just saying the numbers are not off by 30,000 votes. So
I know what I saw.
That they're filling in.
I know what I saw.
Just pausing it real quick here. This lady, most of you probably remember seeing her. For those who haven't, she was one of the witnesses in Michigan with Rudy Giuliani and Jan Ellis. I'm just, I know that a lot of the liberal media, which most of the media is liberal, they like to take scenes like this and try to turn it against the narrative. They also, I didn't see it, but recently, I guess SNL also took Rudy Giuliani, and did a skit putting him down, making fun of him. You know, this whole thing is just becoming a circus. It's ridiculous. And I know I'm seeing, like most Americans, we're seeing crime happening in front of our eyes. And whether you're on the left or the right or not, you know, maybe you're in the middle. I always say I'm in the middle, leaning to the right. So because I will never be a liberal, especially of today, the Democratic Party of today. No way. It's, unless something happens in the future, it's just not going to happen. But anyways, I just want to show a little compilation here. While I had this fresh in my mind, I wanted to put a little something together because I found out some more information today, which I will be talking about here shortly in the end here. Let's go and continue this for a little bit here.
You know what I saw, and I signed something saying that if I'm wrong, I can go to prison. Did you?
An affidavit.
Okay,
I'm just trying to ask you
under
a
perjury.
question here.
Perjury.
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then don't interrupt him. And then if you want to respond to it, that's fine. Did you have more, Representative?
Yeah, I guess I just want to keep following back up with the poll book. So are we saying that the poll book is either wildly off or that they are
Wildly
filling in names?
It's wildly off, and dead people voted, and illegals voted.
Okay.
So that's my
I
answer.
think
Going back to the ruling from Judge Timothy Kenny, he writes that your description of the events at the TCF Center does not square with
Here's
any
a
other
liberal.
affidavits.
Yeah.
He says that there are.
My mistake.
Excuse me, I'm
please,
speaking.
please,
Thank you.
let's let the
No,
representative
excuse
finish,
you.
and then you can answer.
He writes that there are no other reports
Ladies
of lost data
first.
or tabulating machines that jammed repeatedly every hour during the count. He also writes that neither Republican nor Democratic challengers nor city officials substantiate your version of these events. The allegations simply are not credible, is what
Oh,
Judge
yes,
Kenny
they are.
writes. So my question for you is,
Oh my goodness.
you're making claims here today that there's systematic fraud in what's going on in
Because
our
there
elections.
was.
Are the courts also tied up in that fraud?
Let me tell you what I did by accident, okay? I gave Channel 7 an interview that they tied in to that and made me the witness that's uncredible. Guess what? There's going to be a couple behind me that are going to say the same thing I just said. And
The witness before you was also proven not credible as well by
oh
the
no,
same
she
no,
judge.
wasn't.
no, no.
because
She
wasn't
She
even
was
there.
credible.
Representative
The
Camilleri,
very first
let's let her
time
finish,
she
please.
talked. The very
Yep.
first time.
So I just want to understand. Now I don't know what exactly all the things that are being talked about there are, but can you tell us what you said today is the truth? Is that correct?
Sir, I wrote a written affidavit. Yes, it is 100% true.
Okay. And did other people observe this?
Absolutely. You'll behind me. You're going to hear a couple.
Okay. And we'll hear
And
from them,
let me just
hopefully.
state this: I was an IT worker on the stage. I was working with Dominion. I had no poll workers were not allowed on the stage. The data loss, nobody would have heard about that besides me, Samuel, and Nick. Okay? Just like nobody knows that Samuel went to the Chicago warehouse besides me because I worked for Dominion.
Why is it that we're not having more people come forward? I mean, it seems like if there
I'll
was
tell
all
you
this
why.
widespread fraud, that we'd have dozens and dozens of people.
I'll tell you why. My life has been destroyed. My life has been completely destroyed because of this. I've lost family. I've lost friends. I've been threatened. My kids have been threatened. I've had to move. I've had to change my phone number. I've had to get rid of social media. Nobody wants to come forward. They're getting threatened. Their lives are getting ruined. I can't even get an actual job anymore.
Jeez,
I can't.
it's crazy.
Because Democrats like to ruin your lives.
So anyways, for part one here, I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to today. So with all the machines being subpoenaed and looked at, and of course the recounts, electoral college count, and then again it's going to be the Congress. So as of today, Trump is 232 electoral votes, and Biden is 227, December 16, 2020. So this is what's going on right now. Now these aren't certified yet. The final certification begins, I believe it's January 6th. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's January 7th. I'm pretty sure it's January 6th. At that time, then the Congress would take a vote. And a lot of people don't understand this, but what that means is simply that one congressman or woman from each state will cast a vote. Well, the Republicans have the majority in that, which would mean they would obviously vote for Trump. And then you have the Senate. Now, everybody has to vote in the Senate. And from what I understand so far, it's very, very close, as far as who's ahead in the Senate, Republicans or Democrats. And the latest I heard yesterday was with the vote of Mike Pence, Vice President Pence, it should have no problems passing through the Senate. So that's something to think about. We don't really know exactly who's going to be president still. It's got to be certified. So we won't find out for sure, looks like, until probably the first week of or second week of January. And it all boils down to, tangible evidence, all the witnesses and their statements, electoral college count, the recount, etc. But if that doesn't happen, and what I've been told as well is if it does go as far as the congressional vote and the Senate vote, is basically everything up to now, or even up to then, will be as far as the voting is concerned this year, it'll be void and null, and that's when they go ahead and cast their vote in the federal government. So, anyways, just a little update I wanted to do, and I'm going to try to put some more stuff together next time I do something like this. But I don't like to go over 10-15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, and I hope this makes some sense. You have to forgive me too, please. I haven't been feeling well. No, I don't have COVID-19. Okay, I don't have that. I went to the doctor, and it's just drainage. So, anyways, losing my voice here, so I better get off here. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you would, please like and subscribe this video and comment if you would. It really helps the algorithm for this channel. I'm really trying to grow it, and it's a slow mover. YouTube is a slow mover. So please, even just pressing that like button, sharing this video or my other videos for that matter, and also leave a comment if you would, please, too. Comments also help the algorithm, and so I appreciate that, and you all have a if I'm not back on here by Christmas, please have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. However, I'm sure I'll have another video or two before Christmas, probably, and possibly another one before the New Year as well. All right. Thank you.